Welcome back, Jet fans. The views last week, for some reason, weren't up to par, so I expect to see some more people viewing this video. But we'll see how it goes. Either way, we're having a good time doing it. I have a little bit of Jameson with a splash of Coke to get me through this podcast today.
Get you through the season.
And literally, today's Monday. Literally a few hours ago, somebody leaked the fact that Tyrod Taylor would be the starting quarterback for the game against the Ravens. And it wasn't Aaron Glenn, so that's going to be an interesting interview when he gets out and does his press conference. But before we dive too deep into the game, I don't know if you saw, Ed, I had a very interesting experience a few days ago with a beach rescue.
I saw that, Dave. I
Yeah,
was very impressed by
I'll,
your
I'll try.
prowess in the water.
I'll try to post it. It was, took me by surprise. I was on location, maybe gonna do some jet stuff from the beach, and little did I know that there was a damsel in distress, and I sprung into action. So I'll try to get that out there for people to see.
I'm hoping she was very thankful for your efforts, Dave. I hope she rewarded you.
Well,
On,
that's a podcast for another day, Ed. After all, this is a family program.
it is a family. Yes, that is a fair point. Yes.
You know.
Hey, you okay out there?
Help again!
Hold on, I'm coming. Got you. You're safe now.
Oh my God.
Breathe easy. You're on the sand. You're
You
okay.
saved my life.
I'm just glad I was here.
But in a nutshell, just watching the game, just watching Justin Fields not do anything again. Suspicions start to arise. Why is he out there? What are they trying to do? Is it a purpose tank situation going on? And of course, prior to the news today by Tyrod Taylor starting, I was going to tell you that there's no way in hell that these other football players aren't starting to buzz and saying, what the hell's going on here? Why is this guy on the field? I mean, wouldn't you agree that that is probably the case with the rest of the players on the team?
I would think so. How could it not be? I mean, he's not giving them a spark. It's a this terrible season. Notwithstanding two wins in a row, and I was just joking and being excited that it was a 3-game non-losing streak because we had the bye week. And I take it as a win in this terrible season that we're having that we couldn't lose because we didn't play.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean but it makes you wonder: is it not watching Justin Fields since his Ohio State days,
Me,
closely?
me either. Yeah.
Is it him or is it something deeper? Is it the play calling? Is it the team? I mean,
It's
is
him.
it all fall on him?
It's him because he had his chance with Chicago. He had his chance with a great coach, Mike Tomlin in Pittsburgh. It's him. He's lost. He holds the ball. He can't find open receivers. And if it was, luckily it seems to be over now. Thank goodness. It was a strange, set of circumstances leading up to this final decision. But if you have an offensive lineman who's given up 5 sacks a game or a field goal kicker who missed 5 field goals in a row and they keep bringing him back out there, it doesn't make any sense. However, there are some rumblings and some news things that might come out where, Tyrod Taylor was going to start that game, except he had a legitimate knee injury. And then they went ahead and won the game with Justin Fields, so they brought him out again. So there's some kind of a thing where, like, Tyrod Taylor was going to be the starting quarterback, and they just happened to win 2 games, and they just figured roll with him a little bit more. And of course, he is what he is, and it's just totally unacceptable. But the good thing is they're moving on from him. I don't think he'll ever see the field again. The only question we have to see during the week in the press conference is Brady Cook the second string quarterback? Either way, depending on what Tyrod Taylor does and if he flops and if he's miserable, you would think they're going to bring in Tyrod Taylor. They're not going to bring in Justin Fields. And we don't know the answer to this question as of this recording. We don't know who the backup quarterback is. As far as I'm concerned, I don't know. I don't know if you know, but all we know is Tyrod Taylor starting against the Ravens.
I want to see Cook. I want to see the kid in there. Let him give him a shot. I mean, Tyrod Taylor is not the answer. I mean, short term, yes, but we both agree, I think, that he is not the long term answer to the Jets quarterback problems. But why not take a look at the kid you drafted, see what happens?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's going to be the case. I just think it's a matter of Tyrod Taylor hasn't given us any reason to believe that he's the man because he hasn't played too well either. Although as bad as he's probably played better than Justin Fields, especially with passing more than 100 yards a game, probably. So it's at
I'm not
least, at least, Ed, how do I, excited might be a little bit of an extreme, but at least I can watch the game against the Ravens with somebody besides Justin Fields, and so at least it's something different. And we got to see. The only thing interesting now is when we find out who is going to be the backup quarterback. I can't imagine it not being Brady Cook because I can't see them going back to Justin Fields where he plays and put him in there if Tyrod Taylor gets hurt or was having a bad game. So that's the next thing. And once we get to that step, it's going to be interesting because once the Jets lose a few more games, they're going to put Brady Cook in there just for the heck of it because the season's going to be over to see what they have before they draft somebody else to see if they're going to hold on to Brady Cook. That's my opinion. And
It's
after
over
this,
now. Put him in there. Let him see what they got. I
I
don't to me Tyrod Taylor is a short term fix. He's not the long term answer. He drafted a quarterback. Let's take a look at him.
I mean, the only question, and this we always ask ourselves this because we don't really know what the real answer is, and we can only imagine if it's legit, is that Brady Cook is still clueless and is not ready to get on the field yet. With that being said, Justin Fields looks clueless, so how worse can it be? We discussed that in some prior podcasts. How much worse can it be? I don't know, but how bad?
But you would put him in there under a limited circumstances with a limited playbook, a limited some plays, and kind of just take a look at him. I mean, you wouldn't throw him in there, and it's not like you have anything to lose.
Right.
So
Right.
we'll see. But it's typical of something with the Jets. There's always something going on.
Yeah. Mhm.
I was at work, didn't really listen to a lot of things today. Dave, what is this? What is the rumors? I mean, to me, it sounds like it's reasonable. Where did this start? Where did you hear it? That Fields is not starting.
So somebody broke the news. One of the sportscasters, I don't know if it was Rick Cimini or somebody else. It was somebody that somehow broke the news, and then they actually had some players had a press conference discussing the news, and it wasn't Aaron Glenn discussing news. I'm assuming he speaks to the media Wednesday. I should know this, but Wednesday or Thursday he's going to have to speak, and it's going to be interesting because you know how he hates to say who the starting quarterback is. So I don't know if he's pissed off about this leak, like he was about the Garrett Wilson leak with Rich Cimini saying he has a bad injury. You saw that interview with Aaron Glenn was a little pissed off about that. So yeah, I just feel like the players, there's two things. Either Aaron Glenn was going to start Tyrod Taylor and he was injured and they won some games, so he stuck with Fields a little bit, so that was always going to happen. Or if he ever even thought about keeping Justin Fields on the field, basically, I think the players at that point are getting a little bit pissed, and they're definitely rumbling, saying, "What are we doing here with a quarterback who can't throw more than 100 yards?" I mean, it's unheard of in today's day and age, and as an NFL quarterback, So
He's got, looking at his contract now, though. Phil, the one thing that may be why he stayed in there so long is that he's got he's making he's scheduled to make $20 million next year, and $10 million is guaranteed, and his cap hit is $23 million. So it's an ugly situation.
I believe, listen, there's equal blame to go around to an extent, but I believe that Aaron Glenn and the coaching staff saw many of open receivers that Fields didn't see. Besides the fact that he was under pressure and some of them were like, hey, he couldn't get them. I think they saw a lot of guys that were possibly open that he didn't pull the trigger on it game after game after game.
Well, that's what Monday film day is for, right? Going over the film. What did he miss? Even if you didn't see him in the field, that's what they do. I mean, you go over film on Monday and you say, this is what he missed.
Another sports announcer had a very good point too. They have these new receivers now that they acquired through these trades, and they want to see what they have. But you can't see what they have if you have a quarterback who's not throwing on the ball. you know. So the same thing with that game. I think there was some receivers that missed a couple of passes.
He missed a few. There was that one throw. That was that one play sticks out of my head where he threw over the wrong shoulder and he was wide open, coming at the back, coming like out of there was like a fake, and he was throwing it down like the left sideline, and it was just a bad throw. Receiver was wide open.
And this is what practice is for. This is what coaching is for. And there was also playing the flats that he missed. He threw it short like a Zach Wilson would do. It's just you're way into the season now, and either the players stink or the coaches aren't doing a good job. And man, I don't know. Somebody said today, can you imagine that Mike Tomlin from the Pittsburgh Steelers had Russell Wilson and Fields on the same team and made it to the playoffs? I mean, so that tells you like something's weird with this whole situation. Uh, so it's interesting to see what happens. But yeah, now I'm kind of looking forward to the game for two reasons. One, because Tyrod Taylor's starting. Two, yet to be determined, is Brady Cook the backup quarterback? And the fact that I might have a chance, we will have a chance to see what he can do if they put him in there. That's going to be interesting also. And you know what, Ed? If Tyrod Taylor is as bad as Justin Fields, how bad can Brady Cook be? This is a situation where you can't lose. You can't lose. It's so bad you can't lose, whatever decision you make. And then you just have to fast forward to the draft and you see what happens. And what the problem too, Ed, is though, really, unfortunately, it wasn't too long ago we were just a quarterback away. Now the defense doesn't look good either, uh, now we need defensive help, I believe.
Well, you know what you got, they lost, they did gut the defense, Quinn Williams and Sauce being gone. That's kind of deflate the team a little bit. And I thought they played well. I thought the defense played okay
Yeah.
on Thursday night. I didn't think they played that bad.
I don't know how many sacks they had, and I know we still have one turnover for the whole year. Yeah, I don't know the defensive stats, but yeah, I mean it's interesting for all the wrong reasons. And at least Tyrod Taylor's going to be playing because I can't imagine them bringing Justin Fields back out there. I mean, there's got to be a mutiny if that happens.
Yeah,
I mean,
never say never. We've seen some strange things over the years with this Jet team. I wouldn't surprise me if you see him back in there somehow. But
yeah,
I hope not. But we'll see.
yeah. And obviously, all these players are playing for not just pride, but they're playing to put their stuff on, on video, on tape, so people can see how they play. Not giving up and playing hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a scrambling quarterback now. You have a massive running back. With the Ravens, it's going to be an interesting test. And it's one of these games. Like if we can't move the ball up and down the field, the only chance we have is to try to get a turnover, which we can't get, and try to have some kind of fluke scores. Like listen. That game, we scored 14 points on special teams. I mean, we would have never won that game. I mean, it's.
I think it's going to be ugly on Sunday. I think they won 4 in a row. The Ravens, they're in that mindset that I think that Lamar Jackson said, we got to win. We got to win every game out.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a ugly scene on Sunday as far as Jet fans.
I can see it happening too. And you know what happens too, even with the Patriot game, as you watch it, you're like, if they go up 2 scores. Because the Jets want to run, and once it gets 2 scores plus, and I'm watching the game saying, "Oh man, Justin Fields is gonna be forced to pass the ball now." Like it's scary,
Well, is Garrett? Is he back next week? Is he out again?
Who's that?
Garrett Wilson.
I believe he's out for a few weeks. So I think he's on like some kind of injury reserve. He might be out for 4 weeks.
So it's gonna be they got no weapons. All these new guys.
But you know what though, Ed? I mean, listen. It's easy to say that, but when he was playing, they couldn't get him the ball anyway.
No, but I'm saying a new quarterback, if Tyrod Taylor, I think it was
right. You gotta get those one-on-one balls. You gotta have guys going up and over to catch those balls and whatnot. I tell you, I caught a little bit of the Giant game, and what a disappointment that was. I'm a big Jameis Winston fan. I wish he played for the Jets. He played pretty well. The 2 things that happened in that Giant game, did you catch any of it?
I was away this week, so I didn't see it.
Yeah, I saw drips and drabs, but the one thing was for the winning touchdown pass, I believe, in the end zone, Winston threw it in the left corner, and the receiver just didn't go to the left corner, so it was picked off. The other thing I saw was they had maybe 1st and goal from the 10-yard line, and the Giants just basically parted the Red Seas, and they just ran it in like a piece of cake. So. Yeah, the Giants have issues also,
Agreed, yeah. Still, we're going to see. Oh.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be able to see Quinn Williams tonight for playing for the Cowboys. We'll see how that goes. That'll be interesting to see what he does. And yeah, I mean, there's not really too much to say that nobody else has really said already. I mean, I'm just happy Tyrod Taylor is playing. We'll see what happens with that game. And I believe, depending on the backup quarterback situation, which hasn't been discussed yet, if it's Brady Cook, we can kind of look forward, winning or losing, most likely losing, to just seeing even another quarterback before we make our way to the draft to see what happens from there, you know? But at this point, it's not just a quarterback. We need a pass rusher. We probably need a corner.
A lot of team has need a
Yeah,
lot.
which a little unexpected. We need more than just a good quarterback now at this point. I think the offensive line is doing fairly well.
Yeah, and also you got Elijah Vera Tucker's back next year. He's out this whole year, right?
Yeah.
So yeah,
I mean,
tipping him back.
the run game is still strong, and I think when you every time we do it, I'm sure you do it, I do it. When Justin Fields goes back to pass, I start counting down, and I see throw it, throw it. Somebody should be open now. Maybe nobody's open, but that's a problem. Either if nobody's open, it's a problem, and if he's not throwing to open person, it's a problem. But he does have time to pass the football. And he really doesn't step up into the pocket. He kind of keeps backpedaling and looks for a way to run around a corner, you know. And certainly Justin Fields can't be disappointed. I mean, he's got to know what his numbers are. I mean, what do you think he's saying? Like, I should be playing still? I mean,
I think everyone says that, whether it's true or not. I think you're in that delusion that you're going to turn it around anytime. I think that's just the nature of a football player. That they're going to say, I'm going to get better. He may
yeah,
understand. I'm going to eventually turn the corner and right the ship. But
yeah. Well, listen, I'm hoping that Tyrod Taylor plays a really good game, just like I was hoping James Wilson did, because I was excited to see that, that thing take off. And we'll see what happens. I mean, it's a 1 o'clock game again. All the games 1 o'clock. I'll be watching it with a new enthusiasm because it's a big difference if I was watching the game with Justin Fields playing, because I'd be like, oh God. So at least it's a different quarterback, different situation. We all know the Ravens are on a mission to win every game of the season, and like you said, I think the spread is 13 points at this, whatever, which is no surprise. The Ravens are the home team, and it could get ugly. It's funny because when it gets ugly, even with Fields, I'm like, oh, now we're forced to pass the football. Let's see what happens. So, that kind of cracks me up a little bit. Like, what are they going to do? We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes, and we'll see if who the second string quarterback is. But I'm not sure the depth chart's going to be. We'll see what Evan Glenn says during his press conference, and yeah, we'll be back next week to recap it.
yeah,
But all right, Ed, we're gonna wrap it up, and like I said, I think it's a 13-point spread. Oh, real quick, I did bet the Jets last week, like the idiot that I am. It was 12 and a half, and I just figured that maybe they can keep it within 10, and yeah, I lost.
oh,
I'm a sucker. I don't know. It was only $10, so I didn't feel too bad. But it is what it is. So.
yep. All right.
All right, so listen, until next week, quick video. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, throw some comments in there. I could use some more subscribers. I think I'm up to like 259. A couple of people subscribe. I don't know why. They must have been watching something else. I got a lot of videos on here, not just Jet videos. I have a lot of very funny videos on my YouTube channel that crack me up anyway. So, and then of course all my pet care stuff I have going on. So it's interesting. But the Jets are the go-to thing that I can do every week until the season's over. Thanks to Ed. All right, Ed. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll be in touch, and let's see how it goes this week. I don't know what to expect. It's gonna be interesting.
I'm expecting a bloodbath. We'll see what happens on Sunday. As always, we'll be texting, talking through the game.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, be well, Ed. Thank you much.
All right, Dave. Bye. Thanks.
Take care.